Okay, new developments here. A new draft of Michael Cohen's testimony obtained by NBC News just moments ago says Michael Cohen is giving House investigators other checks to reimburse him for hush money to keep Stormy Daniels quiet before the election. Signed by Donald Trump Jr. and Allen Weisselberg, the CFO of the Trump Organization. It should be noted that Weisselberg has reportedly received immunity from federal prosecutors, and as far as we know, Donald Trump Jr. has not. Heidi, a couple of questions for you, because you mentioned earlier that Republicans like Jim Jordan may make an attempt to try and block Michael Cohen from actually being able to say anything.
Well, to slow
How
it down,
exactly
yeah.
to slow it down? But can they block his opening statements? Because and why would they want to slow it down? If potentially crimes were committed, wouldn't they want to hear that for the good of the American people?
Well, they can't stop this, Mika, because it sounds like Cohen is coming with actual documentary evidence here. And the reason why this second piece of reporting is important is because it shows a pattern. If we're talking about a potential criminal conspiracy here, this is now more than one check that was cut, and more than one check that was cut during the time that the president was in office. So presumably when Michael Cohen says he has evidence of crimes committed while in office, this is exactly what he's referring to. And secondly, it also shows that there were more people involved here, because this is Donald Trump Jr. Also signing and putting his name to this. And so it will help bolster as well Michael Cohen's credibility when he testifies today, Mika, that the president, in fact, was at the center of directing many of these actions that are at issue, including the negotiations around the Trump Tower. He's also going to testify today that the president basically implied that he should lie about Trump Tower, even though he was asking him about it repeatedly, reportedly more than 6 times throughout the course of the campaign.
Incredible. Heidi, thank you very much.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.